right, we might go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jenny Bickley, and I'm the Global Education Specialist out of the Office of International Affairs. I work with programs out of the colleges of nursing, medicine, social work, public health, and the Department of Physical Therapy. And today Professor Ibaraki, I'll let you introduce yourself.
My name is Morumo Ibaraki. I'm the residence director for this program. I'm running this program for maybe 5 times already.
So today we'll talk through some more specifics about the program. If you have any questions, you can enter them in the chat. And we'll also explain the application process and talk about next steps. So contact details for both Professor Ibaraki and I are here. Typically, I handle much of the administrative side of things. I help sort of with recruitment and student applications and budget setting. And Professor Ibaraki will be traveling with you. And he also handles the academic side and the program planning in country. So you can contact either of us with any of your questions. So the dates of travel for this program. So this program will run in 2023 from May 9th to May 26th. The last time the program ran was May 2019, and then it hasn't run in the past couple of years due to COVID restrictions upon entry and travel within Japan. You will be based in Tokyo, but then you'll also be given the opportunity in the second portion of the program to travel to several locations outside of the area. So you'll be traveling by train and staying in accommodations during that field trip. So this program is really, while it is a public health program, it is geared to all majors of students who are interested in this subject area. So with this program, you'll get an introduction to global public health concepts and practices as they relate to Japanese society. You will focus on the equation between culture, economy, the environment, and public health, and how they all how they all mingle with each other and how they all impact each other. There will be several field trips that will complement sort of the lecture and the in-class learning that you'll do, including a trip to Hiroshima and Fukushima to deepen your understanding of the public health concerns and the contributing factors to those concerns. And you will take a close look at how environmental health plays a role with public health and public health systems within Japan. So the things that you'll be doing, some of the in-country portion of the program, you will be receiving lectures at the University of Tokyo. So this will kind of give you some context to some of the things that you'll be seeing. You will visit Fukushima, the Itai Disease Museum, Hiroshima, the Minamata Disease Museum, and you'll have a visit to an elementary school. So all of these things, you'll be using the visits and the information that you receive to examine public health practices and public health concepts as they relate to Japan. So the first 10 days will be spent in Tokyo. So you'll be staying in shared student-style accommodation. You'll have your own room, but the other students will be staying at the same accommodation. There will be some free time each day, but that will be dependent on the schedule. So you will have some time to see other sites in Tokyo. So you can certainly kind of make a list of the things that you want to see. And then the second week will be your field trip. So you will spend the second week traveling around to different parts of Japan. You'll stay for several days in each city, and you'll see the sites that are to see there and study the public health, the way that public health has played out in those cities. As far as the courses you'll take, so there is no on-campus course that you'll need to take for this program. All of the credit that you'll earn will be earned in country. So you will, when you're admitted to the program, you'll register for Public Health 3189.03, and that will be 3 hours. So that will appear on your summer 2023 registration. Once you have completed the course and done all the required coursework, you will receive graded credit on your summer statement. So there will be a tuition charge, which we'll talk about a little bit later, that goes along with these 3 credit hours, and you will register yourself. So once you're admitted to the program and you receive an admission decision, you will receive instructions on how to register for the program. As far as the accommodation, you will stay in single rooms in hotel style accommodation throughout the time that you're in Japan. So again, the first 10 days in Tokyo, you'll be staying in the one location. And then on the field trip, you'll be traveling around to a variety of locations, all staying in sort of hotel style accommodation. Some meals will be provided at local establishments throughout the program. But you will need to pay out of pocket for a majority of your meals. Students find that they can have a range of, low budget to, maybe a little bit of a splurge with your meals every now and then. So you can certainly cater your eating habits or your dining habits to suit your budget. So we are still working on the program fee. So we do not quite yet have a program fee, but we will be announcing it as soon as it's available. It will include your accommodation, some of your meals, your program related field trips, and then a couple of lunches and dinners. It will also include sort of transportation for the second portion of the second field trip. And then you'll also have to pay for the 3 hours of tuition for the OSU credit that you will be earning. Some of the other out-of-pocket expenses that you can expect. So with this program, it is not a group airfare, it is independent travel. So you will be booking your airfare in between the United States. So wherever you would like to depart from into Tokyo. So there are 2 options that you can choose from, Haneda and Narita. And once you're admitted, we will definitely give you sort of more explicit instructions on, what time you need to arrive and how to then get from the airport to the hotel. You will need a passport. So if you do not yet have a passport, I would recommend applying for one as soon as possible. A visa is not required for U.S. passport holders, but it may be required if you hold the passport, a passport from another country. So if you are intending to apply for this program and you are a non-U.S. passport holder, please reach out to me so we can discuss what that would look like, what travel to Japan would look like for you on that particular passport. Travel related expenses that you might have to buy some new luggage or purchase new shoes. Most of your meals are not included, but again, there's local establishments that you can choose to either go out to eat or buy takeaway style food. You will have some in-country personal expenses that you will incur. So, if you do intend to buy souvenirs or do any additional travel, you'll want to consider that in your budget. We recommend that all students, regardless of where they go, attend an international travel consultation prior to departure. So you will meet with your primary medical care provider and discuss what travel to Japan will look like for you. So that'll be the time when you talk about any pre-existing conditions that you might have that might impact travel. And then also, if there are any other medical things that you need to speak to them about, mental health or physical health. There's also a $150 application fee that you'll submit when you submit your application to the program. If the program is canceled or if you are not admitted to the program, the $150 will be refunded. And then there will also be a $50 administrative fee that will be added to your statement of fees and accounts. As far as scholarships and funding go, if you go to our website, oia.osu.edu, there are a list of scholarships that are offered through our office as well as other offices and departments on campus. So you'll find, depending on what college you're a part of or any other affiliations you have on campus, there may be a portfolio of scholarships that you can apply for. As far as our office applications go, we do have a common scholarship application that students can apply for. So you'll submit your common scholarship app, and then you'll be considered for any of the scholarships that you are eligible for. And that's similar to the College of Arts and Sciences as well. They also have their own portfolio and a common scholarship application. Scholarship applications and processes vary across the board, so it's smart to begin to plan early to kind of map out when scholarship applications need to be in and what you need to do for each of them. Also, all of the programs on our website are STEP eligible, so you will, if you are participating in the STEP program, you can use your STEP funding to support your study abroad experience. And there is financial aid potentially available. So because you'll be registered here as an OSU student, you can possibly use your financial aid to support you as well. So you'll want to make an appointment with the financial aid office to discuss what the increased cost of attendance may do to your financial aid package and whether or not you qualify for any additional funding. Eligibility for this program. So preference is given to major or minor in public health or health biology related areas, but we certainly do not ever fill the program with public health students. So I always encourage students of all majors to apply if you are interested in the subject area. A GPA of 2.5 or higher. And then now, is this Professor Ibaraki, maybe you can answer this, completion of 2 years of undergraduate education or 2 semesters?
I prefer, but it is not necessary. One time I brought the first year students. So.
Okay. So you definitely need to have completed the first 2 semesters of your education here at Ohio State, but the 2 years is preferred but not necessary. So the application window for this program is not quite open yet. We're still ironing out a few details, but it will be open shortly. The deadline to apply for this program is January 4th, 2023. As long as you've submitted an application by January 4th, your application will be considered. So if you're still trying to decide, or you want to make sure that you're able to apply, there's no harm in waiting until a little bit later on in the semester. You do apply online, so you'll go to our website and you'll find the program brochure page, and there'll be an apply now button at the bottom. There are some personal questions that you'll answer. So there are some short answer essay questions that give you the opportunity to kind of articulate your reasons why you want to study abroad. I always encourage students to invest some time in those. In the past, this program has received more applications than it can take. So often it comes down to some of the answers to those personal statement questions to make a decision as to who would be a best fit for the program. So I do encourage students to, make sure that you are investing some time and effort into answering those questions. Your passport. So we do ask for a passport photo when you submit your application. However, if you are still waiting for your passport to arrive or you have not yet applied, you do not have to have a passport to submit an application for the program. When you submit your application, you will also be required to pay the $150 application fee. So you'll make that payment all prior to this January 4th deadline. There is also a recommendation, a referee with this program. So you'll need to make sure that you leave enough time for your referee to submit the recommendation for you. And then sometime in mid to late January, we will offer a notification of admission. So by email, we will let you know, whether or not you've been admitted to the program. I will also say that there typically is a short interview process with this program. So you can expect to meet with Professor Ibaraki prior to receiving your notification of admission as well. So just a 10 to 15 minute interview for him to meet you and to decide, who would be best fit for the group that he'll take to Japan. As far as health and safety goes for study abroad, so I wish I could say that COVID is completely behind us, but we are still kind of monitoring the situation and making sure that we are sending students to safe places where sort of health risks aren't a factor and won't play a factor in their experience. We are certainly committed to maximizing health and safety while allowing students to have a successful global education experience. We use several resources. So we have an international risk management team. We also use the Department of State and the Center for Disease Control to make a determination as to where we send students on programs. There is a health and safety section of our website. I know some students may not be interested, but if your parents are concerned about the health and safety of international travel, they can certainly refer to that website as well. Now, are there any questions that you have? I haven't seen any pop up in the chat. Professor Ibaraki, I'll stop sharing and then you can maybe share your screen and share your presentation.
Okay, let me show this website.
Please feel free to enter any questions in the Q&A or in the chat.
This is a website. You guys can see me, see this web, the web page. This is u.osu.edu/Japan. This is study abroad program website, and it has like a schedule for 2019. Basically, it says May 13, but we're gonna start May 9th. May 9th on Tuesday. Program start on that day, and we're gonna have spend 10 days in Tokyo. After that, we're gonna visit 4 different places, starting on Friday, the following week. And this one has schedules, and also let's show the video first. Let me show the video first. So this is kind of more like an intro video for this program. So first week we stay in Tokyo, and we have a short trips around the Tokyo area. And the second week, as Jenny mentions, we're gonna visit 4 different places. So one of the places we're gonna visit in Miyagi Prefecture, which had an earthquake about 10 years ago, and we have a tsunami, and we have a huge damage caused by tsunami. So we're gonna visit there. Also going to visit the elementary school, which is damaged by the tsunami. And the other place is Toyama. This place had cadmium poisoning caused by one of the factories, which causes so-called itai disease. And third place, we're going to visit Hiroshima. As you know, this is the best known as the first city in history to be targeted by nuclear weapons. And last place is going to visit Minamata. The place is very famous for the mercury poisoning caused Minamata disease. So these are slides showing previous trips. So here's a message I want to pass to everybody. Actually being there and feeling and see, feel, and smell something is totally different from what can expect, what can earn at the lecture rooms. So for this website, as shown, you can see locations, for example, here. So here's a Tokyo. We're going to stay about 10 days. After that, we're going to visit Toyama Prefecture to visit Itai Disease Museum and actually listen to the storyteller's story. After that, we're going to visit the Hiroshima. Again, we actually see and meet with a storyteller, and she's going to explain about what happened to her mother and her aunt who actually suffered by atomic bomb. And for the Fukuoka, the next place, we're going to visit here, Minamata. Again, this place we're going to see for this storyteller who actually who is a patient of the Minamata disease. Forgot to mention about it. For here in Itai Disease Museum, we can actually see a storyteller who lost her grandma by that disease. And the last day you're going to visit, we're going to travel back to Sendai, this place, all the way back to here and visit, here, Sendai to visit the area which is affected by tsunami and visit the hospital who helped people when we had our scale 10 years ago. And forget to mention about it, while we stay in Tokyo, we can visit here the Fukushima nuclear power plant which had accident about 10 years ago. The place is completely safe now, and we actually see the inside of the nuclear power plant and actually look at what's happened under theirs. So here's the trips and here's the schedules. For these blogs, you can actually find a blog written by students who participate in the program for 2019 trips. Here's photos and also FAQs. So basically, I researched a couple more than a couple FAQs about this trip. And also for the video part, on the YouTube, we have Study Abroad Japan channels, which actually show the video blogs took by students for last two trips. So some of the videos good, some is bad, but you can look at it, what happens for the trips. So for this trip, obviously it's not really cheap. I mean, last time we program fee is about $24 or $500, but I see this I'm gonna invest more like a good education investment for everybody, because I briefly mentioned about it. Being there and actually see and smell and hear some, the actual site is totally different experience than having a lecture room and listen to instructors' stories. So I highly recommend this, and if you can, and especially the public health people or people who are interested in environmental sciences, people interested in health issues, you're gonna see totally different aspect that you can actually see from the lecture rooms as well as what you see in North America. So that's my message for you guys. So Jenny, I can go back to you.
Yeah, so there's a couple of questions. The first one is, do we apply for scholarships before or after finding out if we are accepted into the program? You can certainly apply for scholarships before you are admitted to the program or before you find out if you're accepted into the program. Sometimes, you will have to do that depending on the timing of the scholarship and the application. If some sort of proof that you submitted an application is needed, you can get in touch with me, or if you need proof once you're admitted for your scholarship, we can figure something out. How many students usually get accepted? So typically the group is between sort of 16 and 18. And there's typically a couple of students on a wait list. Now, it's hard to say what happens year to year with student numbers. So, don't let the idea of a wait list discourage you from submitting your application. Are there any other questions?
Jenny mentioned that we accepted 16 to 18. Lowest number I had is about 16 or 17. The highest I had about 22 or 23. So it depends on number of applicants I have. So.
So if there's no other questions, that will end sort of the formal presentation. We will certainly hang around here until the students have left the room, and we can answer any questions that you might think of. I will put my email address in the chat. I'd be happy to answer questions or meet with any students who are, trying to decide. I think I just sent that only to myself, but so I'd be happy to meet with anybody to kind of talk through the process, or, any other programs that you may be interested in. I should also mention, for public health students, this can satisfy your capstone requirement. So if you are a public health student, you can use this program as your capstone experience.
I also put my email address. So any question about program, just email to me.
So thank you for joining us, and have a good evening.